Hello, you gorgeous human beings. It is day 16 of 75 Hard, and I want to talk to you about flirting. Yeah, I have been having the most delicious conversation with one of my mentors, all about manifesting and creating extraordinary results in your life and in your business. And yesterday we were talking about the energy of a definitive decision. And ultimately, when you are looking to create something incredible, in fact, it's not even just create something incredible. It's if I want to pick up this book, I have to decide that I'm picking up the book. If I don't decide that I'm picking up the book, I'm not picking up the book. Everything that you want to create in your life comes from making a definitive decision. Now, when we're looking to do something extraordinary, that decision has to be made more than once for most people. Why? Because when we make it the first time, it is an intellectual decision. We've thought about it and we have decided, which is great. If it were super easy, decision, which means to, like the root of the word decision means to cut off all other eventualities, we would only need to do it once and it would be fine. But if you look at the video from yesterday, I talked about that feeling of slipping and noticing that how certain habits that I haven't been doing were the habits that I was originally doing that really supported me completing the challenge every single day. And those habits, the way that I've been engaging with them, have been slipping off. And I talked about the fact that we do that when we start to become nervous about what it is that we're creating. Often it is we're just before a big breakthrough and then we start to self-sabotage. And we start to self-sabotage because intellectually we've said we want the goal and we've decided that we're going for the goal, but it's all happening up here. And what has to shift in order for you to consistently show up in alignment with the vision that you have for yourself, it has to come from an embodied decision. It has to come from ultimately the wisdom of the body. The body has decided it's good, it's safe, and you are going to do it. And when I think about the first 7 figures that I made in my business, there was the intellectual dismantling of the stories, of the limiting beliefs, all of the reasons why somebody who looked like me, sounded like me, who had my educational background, who was a single mum, in fact I wasn't a single mum at the time, but had been fostered, that there were so many reasons that made me different from the majority of the people that I was seeing in the online coaching space, that that seemed like seemingly valid reasons why I could not create the type of success that they created. Intellectually and individually, one by one, I started to create a level of uncertainty around those thoughts. And then I had my cliff jump moment, which I'm sure I will go into in some detail at some point in these 75 days, where I went from, oh my goodness, I can't do this, to, oh my God, I've just done this. If I can do that, I can do anything. I can be a 7-figure entrepreneur. I am a 7-figure entrepreneur. It happened. The switch was flicked. I had decided in my body that I was doing it. And then every other decision that I made post jumping off that cliff, post becoming at a cellular level a 7-figure entrepreneur, was in alignment with that knowing. In order to get the result like I did, it took me 18 months to get the result, I had to have this embodied wisdom, and I had to be from that place of knowing that it was already done. And everything that I was doing was just about accelerating the speed at which I saw the physical manifestation in my reality. What most people don't realise is in that 18 months from me deciding to me seeing the 1.2 million in my Stripe account was I had to decide again and again and again and again every single day. And when you don't continue to decide, i.e. make decisions, take action in alignment with the vision that you have for yourself, what you allow yourself to do consciously and subconsciously is entertain other outcomes, entertain other realities. And this, I didn't realize it until I had the conversation with my mentor yesterday, is what I was doing when I was talking about the sense of slipping. I was allowing myself to entertain a reality where I did not complete this challenge. And that is why those self-sabotaging behaviours were just creeping up, just popping up their heads to let me know that there were other ways out. There was a plan B and a C and a D and an E and an F, and that isn't the vibe. And it's so interesting. That conversation created the awareness, which made me go ping. And so today, even though it's been back to back to back to back, I've just delivered an incredible workshop. If you actually are thinking about becoming a coach in 2026 and you would love to get a complete roadmap of what you need from a skill set perspective to what you need to do in order to build your business, we've got a 3-day event coming up in January. If you go to susieashworth.com/P2P, then you can join us for like 97 quid. For 3 whole days, virtual. It's brilliant. I will put the link in the description. But I just delivered an amazing workshop. I had client calls this morning. I have got my second workout in of the day. I've been to a meeting at the school, and now I've eaten my dinner. I've recorded this, and then I'm going on a date. And there's no part of me, because of this conversation, that is like, oh, there's too much for me to do. Like, again, something clicked. And this, by the way, is the power of mentorship and coaching. I would have got here eventually, but how I collapse the time around my awareness is to have a conversation, to be able to have things reflected to me. So we go from deciding intellectually to embodied wisdom. Abraham Hicks says a belief is just a thought that we keep on thinking. So what we want to do is take that intellectual thought and turn it into a cellular belief. And so I have to keep thinking about whether I'm acting in alignment with the decision. And every time I make a choice in alignment with that, I am embedding the decision to be a winner when it comes to 75 Hard in my cellular memory. I am embedding the decision to create, to have at least 100 people in my certification next year. Every time I say it, and then every time I take action in alignment with it, i.e. do a workshop, deliver it, make sure that it's amazing, sell loads of tickets. Every single time I do that, I am one step closer to becoming the woman who has manifested her dream reality. You have to stop flirting with other realities. That is what the idea of slipping is about. It's kind of like, oh, I'm entertaining. There's a part of me that's entertaining, not completing. There's a part of me that's entertaining that it's not possible for me to make 10K months. If there's a part of me entertaining that it might not be possible that I will meet the love of my life. And there's so much I could say about the end goal and who you're becoming on the way to the end goal that I cannot fit into this recording because I've got to get ready. I will make another. In fact, if you want me to talk about the difference between the end goal and who it is you are becoming on the way to creating your desire, please say, I'd like to know more in the comments, and I will do. But my main point here is that every time you wobble and waver, you're flirting with other realities. In order to make your goal a non-negotiable, you have to decide, you have to keep deciding, and then you have to say you are not available I'm not available for entertaining that way of thinking. I'm not available for not acting in alignment. I am not available for anything else other than becoming the woman or the person who is a match for the outcome that I desire. It doesn't matter what you're manifesting. It doesn't matter what you're creating. It doesn't matter what it is that you are doing. That is the vibe. That is it for me today. I hope that you have enjoyed this episode. I have enjoyed sharing with you. If you have, hit me up with a like and a subscribe if you haven't done it already. And in the meantime, I'll see you tomorrow. And I want you to remember that faith plus action, it equals miracles, miracles. It equals miracles.